take control of me. Got me feeling low. How do I respond to it? How can I release? This is when I go. Turn on the radio. Hey. I tune in. Morning show. So I can get that spiritual wake up, that morning shake up. Pastor Kevin's got a design, and it's right on time for me. So what do you do when you're not feeling that great? Turn on your radio, let Pastor Kevin play. Hey. What do you do when you can't go home no more? Tune in to GM80 Morning Show.
What do you do when you're not feeling good? Turn on my man, he makes it understood. Do you need to pray? He got it right here. Words of encouragement, got it right here. Inspiration for your soul and your mind. We're living in some trying times. This morning show got more for your soul, and I'm inclined to spend all of my time. So go ahead and tune in or call in or do what you need to do. Pastor Kevin's got good news for you. Turn on the #1 faith-based radio show. And you can hear the magic. Now I know you gotta have it. I know you gotta feel it. All up in your spirit.
We all have those days we don't feel so great, and we need some inspiration. And this is not a game for those that have the faith. Let's pray. So what do you do when you're not feeling that great? Turn on your radio, let Pastor Kevin play. What do you do when you can't go home no more? Tune in to GM80 Morning Show. Tune in to Pastor GM80. Tune in to Pastor Morning. Tune in to Pastor Show. Tune in to Pastor Kevin. Tune in to Pastor GM80. Tune in to Pastor Morning. Tune in to Pastor Show. Tune in to Pastor Kevin. So what do you do when you're not feeling that great? Turn on your radio, let Pastor Kevin play. Come on. What do you do when you can't go home no more? Tune in to GM80 Morning Show.
One time for some live.
Morning Show. Pastor Kevin. GM80 Morning Show.
How you doing? Hold on one second. I'm getting ready to just bring you live right on the air with me this morning here on the PAC broadcast network for the morning show. Yours really, Pastor Kevin, feeling good music, sounding blessed. Always. Something on your mind, you want to get on the prayer line, you want to make a special dedication and a request, you can call me. I don't know how many of y'all remember that old song by the Yes Center. Never mind. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Coming up in just a few, I'm going to be talking at hope. I'm going to leave it at hope because I just like the word hope. Alright? It's the morning show on the #1 faith-based motivational and inspirational broadcast in the country. Broadcasted in over 168 countries, averaging 30 to 40,000 people on a monthly basis. 4 times in a row, still nominated. It's not so bad either. And we're just honored, privileged, blessed, and grateful for the blessings of the Lord here on If you go to work every day and you are not truly in love with your job, I want to recommend that you reevaluate and reconsider what you do for a living. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where you are in the world. If you truly, I know the bills got to be paid, but if you do not enjoy what you do, reevaluate and reconsider what you do for a living. Because chances are you're going to feel worse by going to work every day than you will actually feel good. Because the only thing that's going to make you keep going is that paycheck at the end of the week. I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Well, hey, Hope, how you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, you know, this is, we have been patiently waiting for this opportunity. And finally, phase one, I'm gonna leave it at that. Phase one of our conversation is about to begin. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, if that's a word, I want to go ahead and introduce to some and, of course, present to others my friend, who is an awesome woman of God who is just doing great things. All I can say is doing great things. For those of you that can, go ahead and shout a little bit. I know you might be at work. Just don't mind if the person in the cubicle next to you look at you a little strange. Just say, yeah. Because Hope is here with us. Hope is here with us right now. Hope, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. And let's dive into this conversation that we are about to have about what God is doing in your life.
Well, my name is Hope. My name is Hope Cherie. I like to just go by Hope. I think my parents did a good thing when they came up with that one because that is just who I represent. To me, hope means helping other people endure.
Wow.
And that is just something that I have kind of, taken up as my mantle, just to be able to encourage people. I live right here in Virginia, and so I'm way the other way from you guys, but they're in spirit. So, hi everybody, how y'all doing?
I don't know about if you want to even be here in spirit right now because it's like 11 degrees outside.
Woo! Oh look, it's only like 20. No, I'm lying. It was 25 yesterday, but it's 46 today, and that's cold for us.
That's cold for you. I love 46 right now. So 46, come on. All right. Wow. Well, I'm loving this. You know what? I never looked at it that way. First and foremost, before we even go forward, I want to say thank you so much for taking time out on today to just kind of hang out with us for a little while. I know we have some things we're going to talk about and some things we're moving forward with. But you just you opened my eyes to something, helping other people endure. That's awesome right there. Just, there was a reason you gave me your name, and then I said, you know what? When I said I'm going to put your name here, I said, you know what? I'm just going to put Hope. You had not shared that helping other people endure portion of it at that time. So
no, I had not.
Wow,
I had not.
That's awesome. Well, you know what?
It's funny because I had I've always been the type of person. I have a column called adoseofhope.org. And I'm always, just trying to find ways to encourage people through whether it's just positive quotes or, positive affirmations or life coaching or whatever that may be. I'm always in the position and mindful of my godly position to always put, other people first in the sense of how they think, how they feel, and getting them on the right track. And so that's kind of where, the A Dose of Hope, the whole platform has come from. And so I just was on my, busy work doing that. And one of the bishops that I'm associated with, I like to call him one of my spiritual fathers, Pastor Sessom, he, one day he just happened to say to me, I know what your name means. And I said, Hope? I mean, we all know what hope means, right? So I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, no. He said, your name means helping other people endure. he said, that's why you were named Hope. He said he sees that in the spirit. And I said,
wow.
And I just sat there like numb for a second, like, wow, like this is what I've been doing all my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I never knew that there was, that someone else would look at that and say, this is what you were called to do.
Right, right.
And so I just was like blown away with that. But ever since then, I've always carried that because that in essence is what I do.
Right.
Help other people endure.
Yeah, that is amazing. I mean, like I said, I never looked at it that way from the beginning, but now it's like, wow, it really opened some eyes just to hear that being said. Now, I know that you have been in the music industry for quite some time. So I want to focus on that just a little bit for a few minutes, and I want you to kind of rewind the tape and press play.
Okay.
I want you to kind of go kind of where it all began. I mean, how did your music career start? And a lot of times people tell their story, and I do understand that sometimes we start not in the church, quote unquote, and
right.
we kind of get led in that direction. I kind of want you to rewind the tape and press play and tell us where it all began in your career as far as music is concerned.
Okay. Well, I've been singing a very long time, and I'm one of those ones who are not afraid to tell my age, but I've been singing for 46 years. No, I'm wrong. I am 46. I've been singing for about 25 or 30 years.
Okay.
Very long time, since I was about 14 years old. I started out singing R&B music. I did some competitions, talent shows. Like I actually did Star Search before they even called it that. It used to be called the Discovery show. And so I used to do that. I did that. And then I just was, at that time I was about 14, 15, and I said, I think I want to do this music thing. And so I started singing what we call secular music. Enjoyed it, actually. Did a lot of things. I was able to travel. I sung in Germany. I sung a lot of different places in a lot of different countries, just kind of going around doing that. And then I was on tour with Genuine. We did a couple of dates with him, tour dates on the Pony Tour. And then after that, it was just something in my spirit that was saying I needed something more. Yeah. And mind you, I did not grow up in church. I vaguely knew about it. I vaguely knew that, that there was, that people were religious or that people went to church, but I didn't have any experience or prior knowledge of it. And so someone gave me a CD, and it had, it's like a mixture of Marvin Sapp and CeCe Winans and Kirk Franklin, and they were on it. And I was listening to this CD, and I'm thinking, like, wow, I was really trying to figure out and wonder, like, who is this God that they're singing about? Like, who is this person? What is this? And so I started to look into that, and somehow I just got wrapped up in the spirit, and I just knew that was where I was supposed to be, and that there was a reason why I was doing the things that I was doing, and there's a reason why I was delayed with some successes on the other side.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there for just a few minutes, Hope, because you know what I guess I should put my foot in my mouth because I told you to rewind the tape and press play. Mm-hmm. Now, you are not afraid to tell your age. Thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
But let me say this. You mentioned a few things that really touched my spirit. You mentioned Discovery. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Star Search.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Genuine. And you mentioned Now CD. See, they don't make those CDs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're not called Now CDs. And
right.
Genuine with the braids and Star Search. They first called it Discovery. A lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember putting on the hits?
Yes.
I that was just a test question, because see, Because all of those things you mentioned, I can relate to. I was around during Star Search days, and when Genuine was on that Pony tour, and I remember those things.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you know what? Thank you for your time. You have a nice day. Oh wow, my goodness, you brought back some memories on that one. So, leading up to your I guess you can say your conversion. Once you got the Now CD and the Spirit started talking, and I know you have a lot of music out, but
I do.
I mean, at what point? I mean, there's got to be a point, a foundation, a root foundation, to say, you know what, Hope, it's time for you to help other people endure. It's time for you to release this music to people around the world so they can begin to feed off of the Spirit of God. At what point in your life? When did you know that it was that time for you?
Well, I've always been a songwriter. And so the songs that have, come to me over the years have always come out of my spirit, whether it's through a dream or whatever. And so when I wrote a song called The Hoop, and it was a completely secular song, and the song was taken off very well. It was doing good, and I stopped showing up for my shows. And my manager called me one time. His name was Shelton Flight, and he said, "Okay, I'm setting up all these shows for you. You're missing the clubs. Why are you not going?" And I said, "Because I don't feel like it's where I'm supposed to be anymore." And that's when I knew that at the height of a single that was doing very well, that could have potentially took me to the moon, God said no. And I didn't even know enough about God to be obedient, but I knew that I should have been obedient.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Wow.
I didn't have a choice.
Well, that's amazing, because a lot of times people just don't understand that, and until it happens to them. And
right.
I can, I don't normally tell people that I can relate to things unless I truly can. And make a long story short, I was working for you're familiar with this. I was working for WGCI Radio in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I did some things that I shouldn't have, because during that time I was enjoying it. The money was great. The fame was good. Everybody I was being recognized in places I didn't even think people would recognize me. And so I can relate to that, but I just stopped feeling it. It just wasn't in me anymore. So I'm like, So I just start just waving my hands, just kind of throwing the opportunity away. And then, and then all of a sudden I dive into quote unquote ministry. And it all began kind of like online, doing some online things. So I can relate to what you're saying. And, wow. I mean, so from that point to when that transition took place for you, exactly how many songs have you released on a faith-based or a Christian or a gospel level?
I have released 3 full-length CDs. So we're talking maybe 40 songs, 45 songs.
Wow.
And I've also released 3 singles, just singles, by themselves. And so, and I'm actually in the process, and I'm sure we'll get there, of releasing another EP in February.
Wow. So, I mean, you're just, you have just, you kind of backed up off the water and ran and dived in with both feet. My goodness.
That's the thing that we have to learn, is that when God says go, it's go.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we'll sit on things and we're pondering in our heads, like, is this what he said? Is this what he wants us to do? But when God says go, you go. And he doesn't always give you the assurity that things are going to be all right. He just said go. But
that's
then it
amazing.
backs up to the wall of it if you trust God or not
That's
to do
right.
what he said.
That's right. Well, it's amazing, because I was having that conversation with the young lady this morning, that exact topic of conversation. Sometimes procrastination generates failure.
Yes, it does.
So see, somebody out there listening just missed their shout. I know they did. They just missed their shout. Sometimes, let me say that again for those that might have missed it, or you might be driving home from work and you might almost have an accident because you say, "Oh yeah, now I get it." No, listen. Sometimes procrastination generates failure. You will procrastinate long enough to where you will allow your blessing and your dream to fly right by. Trust me, I've been there.
You know what's funny about that? I say all the time, what's for you is for you. Now, how quickly it gets to you is up to you.
That's right.
Because when you're procrastinating, if God is going to give you something, he's going to give it to you.
That's right.
But you can also do things that create a delay. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not obedient, you're not listening, you're not following through. He gave you a vision and you walk right past it. It may come to you. It may come to you 20 years later.
That's right.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because you could have been so much farther along 20 years prior if you would have listened and not, been such a procrastinator. Trust me, I don't come from a judgmental place on that because I've been that a lot.
Tell me about it.
One of my biggest thorns in my side.
Yeah, that's just real. I mean, sometimes you procrastinate on what it is that God has placed in your spirit, and it'll fly right by. So you can't. I mean, so I honor.
Absolutely.
I honor the fact that you didn't run up to the pool and just stick your toe in and then back up. See, so you backed up and ran and dived in with both feet, and I can honor that. So with that being said, of course, 3 full-length CD projects, and then you came out with, I believe you said 2 or 3 singles after that. Okay, and now you're working on a brand new EP that you're going to be releasing in February. I mean,
the release is February. It's Valentine's Day, actually.
Okay. Now, over the years, now, who were some of the people that you had the opportunity to work with as you produced and provided these projects?
Wow. Actually, I've worked with a lot of different producers in the studio. Ray Braswell Jr., I don't know if you're familiar with him. He was one of the biggest pieces of my musical career in terms of my sound. He's done a lot of my work, a lot of talented musicians across the board. I've been able to, be on stage with Marvin Sapp. I've been there with Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin. I've done stuff with Pastor Andre Crouch, which was amazing because I miss him. I just put a post out the other day that I miss him so much because when I first came out of R&B music to gospel, my biggest opposition was the people. And I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
My biggest opposition was the people because they didn't understand my style coming from R&B. I didn't know how to change. Okay, all of a sudden I'm not an R&B singer anymore, but I still sound like R&B, but now I'm over here in gospel. So I spent the first 10 years confused because I was not accepted as a gospel. Even though everything I was singing about was God and Jesus and Lord, it didn't matter. I still sounded R&B, and that was not accepted by a lot of people.
Right.
And so when I met Pastor Crouch, and he asked me one day, he said, "Can I have lunch with you?" And I went and had lunch with him. And he said to me, "Do not change." We were doing a concert together. He said, "Do not change the way you are. Don't change the way you sound." He said, "What if I had have changed for people? What if I had not have, been the way that I am?" And he's now he's the contemporary godfather of gospel.
Right.
What if I had not been who God called me to be? He said, "Don't you ever change how you are. Don't ever change how you sound. Listen to God's voice and do what he told you to do."
That's right. I agree
And
wholeheartedly.
I never changed from that.
It's amazing. Even today in places like the pulpit, people will try to adjust who they are to please the people. They'll try to adjust to. I'm just gonna say it that way: adjust who they are to try and please the people. It's amazing because I just completed a message titled, listen to this, Hope. We spend too much time trying to impress the flesh. And I mean, and so when I think about that, Andre was very right for telling you that, because even in the pulpit, it doesn't matter how much you change, you're never going to sing like other people. You're going to always sing like you. No matter how you change, you're never going to preach like other people. You're going to always preach like you. So somebody used to ask me, what kind of preacher are you? I said, I'm just a preacher who preach. I'm not a particular type of preacher. I said, I spend more time trying to inspire, motivate, and encourage people instead of, I can go on a tangent, so you're going to have to be careful. I think about pulpit, and I've made pastors mad because I always ask them, are you pulling people in the pit or are you trying to pull them out? Okay, now, okay. So, I mean, it's amazing because, see, God will release those type of things to you, and that was one of the reasons that Andre was sent in your path. Because if he had not been sent in your path, you might have got sidetracked and began to change who you are to try to impress and or please the flesh. That's my purpose.
And I think somehow in the spirit, he knew that it would take a long time for things to manifest for me. And sometimes when things are just taking forever, you start assuming that you're wrong, or that you're making the wrong decision.
Right.
And so a lot of times, God will send people in your path just to give you a peek that you're going the right way.
Amen.
And so for him to tell me, don't change, stay there.
Yeah.
And it was another, I don't know if you know of Bishop Sam Williams. He came to me some years later and said to me, Hope, don't change what you're doing. He said, I promise you, radio's going to catch up with you.
That's right.
And I said, what? I'm like, huh? So over the years, I've always had people tell me that, that, hey, hold on, don't change. I promise you it's coming. It's going to catch up. Wow. And so I just knew. And now when I listen to radio, I'm like, wow, here it is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Here it is.
I am in complete agreement with you on that. As a matter of fact, while we're talking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and have you put your phone on mute for a few minutes, because I want to bless the people right now with one of your current singles titled Release Me. Release Me, I know that there's a true message behind it. So why don't you share a little bit with the people about this particular single titled Release Me before I air it on the show this morning?
Okay, Release Me basically was a song that was actually written by Byron Motley. It's a beautiful song, and the reason that I chose to sing it was because in 2012 I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I don't even know how I'm sitting here talking and walking around. I have more than 20 lesions running through my brain and my spinal cord. And so, and I was doing injections in my stomach several nights a week. And I said, when I heard the song, I said, God, I need a release. I need you to release me from this pain and this misery and just being captive to a disease. And so that was my song and my prayer, that God would release me from the pain that I was enduring at that time. My
God. Wow. What a testimony. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bless you right now with this hot new track titled Release Me. Hope, helping other people endure. I am going to grab a hold of that like you would not believe. That's going to be my next message. All right, well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. It's Release Me, Hope, right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network and The Morning Show.
What shall I do, Lord? really sad.
Man, oh man, oh man. Sometimes some people get all the luck. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I just happen to be one of them. You know how I'm telling you. Oh, you know what? Right now, Hope, you are helping me endure. I just want to share. I want to share that with you because your testimony is encouraging, and I always strive on testimonies. As a matter of fact, you know what? You can't even, if you don't go through a test, how can you have a testimony?
That's right.
As a matter of fact, you can't even spell testimony without spelling test first. So when you think about it.
You got that right. If you are just to be alive as a testimony.
Come on.
I had a lady come to me one day. A lady came to me one day and she said, I listened to your testimony.
Yeah.
And she said, I've never been through anything, which, hey. But she said, I've never been through anything.
Lucky her.
I've never been sick. I've never lost a job. She said, I literally in my life have never been through any challenge. And I said, wow. I said, I've never heard of that. And I told her, I said, but that is your testimony. Because if God has kept you to that degree that you've never had to go through anything in your whole entire life, that is your testimony.
That's your testimony. See, everybody has a testimony. That's right.
Yeah, so everybody has one.
Yeah, that's true. What a wonderful song. And that song right there is being placed or has been placed in our broadcast rotation, airing that three to five times a day. I fell in love with Release Me.
Thank you.
When I heard it.
Oh, thank you.
And I think it's an awesome song. Now, moving forward, I know that you're into a lot of things, and I have I have so many questions. Let me put it that way, but I'm just excited about what you're doing, and your music ministry is just a portion of who you are, and a portion of what you do. I also know that most recently. Let me see if I can say it right without you telling me. If I mess it up, don't hang up on me.
Okay.
Giving light to your vision. 80 Marketing LLC.
That's it.
See, I must have been practicing.
80 Marketing LLC.
I must have been practicing because it came out too easy. I had to.
It did.
Because I done jacked it up a few times. I said I must have been practicing because I have been building on this this time this week to know that we're going to have a conversation, and we're also going to be having another conversation, ladies and gentlemen, very soon. I'm not going to tell anybody why. I'm just going to let them know we're going to be having another conversation very soon. But 80 Marketing LLC, giving light to your vision. Let's talk a little bit about that.
80 Marketing, well, actually, I want to back up a little bit. I've been doing marketing for one of the three largest contributors of content in the world, which is the Chicago Tribune Publishing. I've been doing marketing, working for them for quite a few years. I was there a total of 13 years.
Okay.
And so, and then more recently, I've was faced with the decision of, my job being transferred to another market, actually, which is in Illinois, in Chicago. And so me living in Virginia, not ready to make that type of a decision, wanted to, stay where I was. I decided that, you know what, this is what I've been doing. This is what I love. And so I started my own marketing firm, which is 80 Marketing LLC.
Okay. Wow.
And so, but the difference here for me is that, my strength is content creation. I've always loved writing, writing books or just writing in general, posting on social media, positive things, positive stories, positive quotes. And that's kind of been my thing. And it all falls under that a dose of hope. And that's what 80 means, a dose of hope. It's the acronym for a dose of hope.
Wow, you're just amazing.
Yeah.
I tell you, Oh my goodness. Now, there you go with this. There you got a dose of hope. You got helping other people endure. I'm gonna start breaking down some of my stuff on you in a minute. Because I'm getting jealous now. He's all, but that's awesome. A dose of hope. Again, giving light to your vision. Now, what's your focus with ADO Marketing? I mean, are you focusing on a particular area, arena, individuals, music? I mean, what's your focus?
My focus is churches, small businesses, and artists. But it's like a very small. When it comes to musical artists, it's more like, let's say, for example, if you're an artist, you're starting out, and you don't have a press kit together, you don't have a bio. You don't have, just your overall look, flyers, business, just a business element to your ministry. That is the part that I'm here to help you get together.
Wow.
So that when people look at your brand, what does that look like?
Right.
You don't want to be out here, ministering and all that kind of stuff, and that's all great. But then when somebody who doesn't know you see you, they're like, what is this?
What do they see?
So you don't want people to be turned off by what they like, what you look like on paper.
Right.
And so for me, I'm here to make you look like, or to make you match your ministry, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, and so that's what I do from an artist standpoint. From small business standpoint, I met with a lady a couple of days ago, several people, but she kind of just came to the table with this great vision that God has given her, and that was all she had. And so it's like, God told me to do this, but I don't know how to start.
Right.
And so I'm the kind of person that kind of sifts through that process, kind of holds your hand through that process. Let's talk about it. Let's pray about it and come up with where your start is. This is what you need to do, A to Z. And then I kind of hold the hand in that process of getting that person to where God said that they should be.
Wow. I mean,
so it's almost like a brand ambassador, if you will.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, I look at it this way. I've done it for Fortune 500 companies for years.
Right. Wow.
And you know what I'm saying? So if I can do it for them, I definitely can do it for me, and I definitely can do it for you.
Amen. Well, if someone wanted to reach out to you on that particular level, ADO Marketing LLC, not even the music industry. I know that we can turn a whole new page on that one. But why don't you share the information that's available that will allow them to reach you? I mean, there's a lot of people out there, Hope, that really, really, really need your service, that really need your experience, your opinion, your direction. And I want to be able to share this information with them. Why don't you share how you can be reached so that they can begin to reach out to you?
I will. And just real quick before I say that, also, I'm finding that there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of people who need that, but there's also a lot of people who just don't know where to start, when it comes to business and setting up a business. So, you've been in business for 3 years, but you still haven't even done the foundation to legally set your business. And so I went to college for that. I actually went to college. I have a master's degree in business.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that because as I went throughout my musical business, I didn't want people to be able to tell me more than what I already knew about how business should work.
Right.
And so, and I'm here for that as well. But anyway, so just to say that, so it starts from the time that God says, go do this, all the way up until the time that you complete that. And so that's kind of where I am in that process. But I do have a website. It's adoseofhope.org, that easy, adoseofhope.org. And there, all my contact information is there. And there's a page that says ADO Marketing. And if you go to that click on that page, you can reach me that way as well. So that's the easiest way to say it. Adoseofhope.org is where you can find me.
Well, I would agree with that being the easiest way. But I will say this, it is very easy, adoseofhope.org, adoseofhope.org. And just so you all know, I have also took it upon myself to place adoseofhope.org marketing ADOH, ADO Marketing, on our broadcast network platform in our partners area.
Yes.
I don't take what she does lightly, and I need the connection to be able to share with others. As a matter of fact, I may already have a client lined up that I'll be speaking with them live on the air right after I'm done with you. So it might be a conversation.
Okay.
Might be a conversation you want to listen to.
Okay, I sure will.
I told you I love my job. I just get a kick out of this. Okay, so of course, ADO Marketing, they have a logo banner placed on our broadcast network site in our partners area. A dose of hope a dose of hope dot org or .com?
Org.
.org. Okay, a dose of hope.org. Please, by all means, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking, if you just need to find out where it all begins, what direction you want to, because there's a lot of people out there want to do what other people do or have a passion to do what God has invested in their spirit, and they just don't know where to start.
That's right.
I think that challenge has it crossed all of our path. So listen, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Let me just say it that way. That's right. Don't be afraid to reach out and say, hey, Hope, I got this such and such. I'm trying to start a church. I got a small business. I'm a gospel artist. Where do I start? What do I do?
Yeah. And sometimes people just don't have time. I mean, like I have a church. I have a couple of churches that I'm working with, and they don't have time to do social media. Right. It's just something. It's not their strength. They don't want to do it, and that's one of the things that I do. So what I do is when they tell me, well, we need a social media page, but, Bishop doesn't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with it. We don't have time. So I create this social media page. I go out to their church. I take photos. I mean, I have all of that. I take photos. I do video. I am the back line of what their social media looks like.
Right.
And a lot of people think that, wow, the church is doing this. They're for moving. They was out here at the feeding the kids last week, and you see all of this on their page, and you don't even realize that they're not doing it.
Right. Wow.
That they have someone like me behind the scenes creating true content. But sometimes they just don't. I mean, they're out doing what God said do. They don't have time to capture every moment, or they will be pulling out a camera every time they're doing what God said.
Right. Wow.
And for people like me, that's kind of what I'm behind the scenes doing as well.
That's amazing. And I'm loving it because it's necessary. I used to tell people all the time, a lot of times we do certain things, but everybody is not stuck on social media.
Right.
But it's necessary to have a social media presence.
Right.
If nothing else, just put it out there. It's not costing you anything to have that information disseminated throughout social media. Let people,
absolutely.
Let people see who you are, what you're doing. So we appreciate that. A dose of hope.org. ADO Marketing, of course, they have a banner here on the GMAP Broadcast Network site.
Thank you so much.
Praise God for you on that. And, of course, I'm looking to send people your way. I'm looking to have you speak to people. I'm looking to you to give them a consultation to find out what their next step is going to be. Also,
Amen.
Hope is also one of our featured artists on the GMAP Broadcast Network. And if you would like to stop by the GMAP Broadcast Network, of course, that photo that is placed there will also be linked to. I didn't know where to link it. That's why it's not linked yet. But I didn't know if I didn't know if I should be sending it to ADO Marketing, if there's a social media page, or if there's a website for Hope, the music ministry. I didn't know, so I didn't know where. I just didn't know.
That's funny because it is so. I do have a lot going on, but I consider a doseofhope.org as my umbrella.
Okay.
And so that's kind of my parent, and then everything else I do is kind of under that.
Okay,
so
I love it.
doseofhope.org, you'll never go wrong with that.
I love it because that's what I do. Everything falls under the GMA people. I mean, if it's something, even a personal marketing thing that I'm doing, just go to gmap1.com and click on this.
That's
you know,
it.
so that's
it.
yeah. Maybe I should work with you. You might have to.
Keep it simple.
That's good stuff right there. So now I know. I just didn't know, but she's also one of our featured artists as a part of our gospel artist showcase, and of course, we're going to continue to show our love and our support to everything that she's doing. Again, adoseofhope.org, or you can simply stop by the GMAP Broadcast Network and visit our featured artist area or our partners area, and you will see ADO Marketing, or you will see Hope as a part of our showcase. Just click on either one of those pictures, and it will take you to where you need to be. I'm going to be ending our conversation shortly with another single by you, but there's a scenario. There's a picture that I want to paint first that I love to paint with other guests, and I want to paint one for you right now. I have taken time out, Hope, to put together what I call my very own megatorium. Okay? Now, my megatorium consists of T.D. Jakes Potter's House and the Joel Osteen Auditorium put together.
Okay.
It's called my megatorium. All right. So in my megatorium, there's over 10,000 seats available.
Okay.
And every last one of those seats are occupied by a young lady. These young ladies have been through trying times. These young ladies have been disrespected, dishonored. These young ladies have been beaten, have been raped. These young ladies have been out on drugs, have been prostituting their bodies. These young ladies have been through some stuff. And I had the privilege of introducing Hope to the podium. My question is, what would you say to them?
I would say to them to hold on, because it's in times like this that God is teaching us. He's pruning us, and he's getting us ready for the real work. And if you've been going, and since you've been going through all these things, take the time to learn from it. Take the time to allow it to build character. Take the time to understand it. And know that your turn is coming for God to use it for his glory.
Amen. We thank you so much for just taking time out to be with us on today. We know that we have a lot of other things planned for the very near future. Can't wait for you to get to the Chicagoland area. I just can't wait.
Oh, I know. now you're giving me a reason to come.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to get to the Chicago. I'm just excited about that all in itself, because now you might want to wait a couple of weeks, because right now it is cold outside. It is I mean, I'm telling you, I'm sitting in here with 2 pair of sweatpants on, 2 sweatshirts.
Oh, man.
2 pair of socks and my robe, and I'm in the house.
Oh, man, that's not good.
It's cold. So I just want you to know you might want to wait a couple weeks. But it is just going to be an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to have you in the area. I am familiar with many of the things that you have mentioned. The Chicago Tribune, I used to buy that paper. So I'm just excited about what God is doing and how he's doing it. We want to make sure that this platform is going to be wide open for your convenience. So whatever it is that we can do to assist you to add to your client base, then we want to be added to your client base. So
thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. I'd like to say things come out of the blue, but they don't. I believe that that God led you to reach out to me, and I'm just honored that you did.
Amen.
And I thank you so very much. And it's equally, if there's anything that I can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Amen. Well, I believe that God has placed some things in our path that was very, it was an honor praying on yesterday when you mentioned some things to me, and I already knew right then. I stopped what I was doing and I began to pray. And after I did that on today, you said all is well. And that, to me, that was important to me. That was, that was an eye opener to me, because a lot of times people just don't understand. How can, they'll ask you a question. Well, how can you do that, Hope? I know how you used to be. And stop it. Just stop it. Because God, God is not instructing us to change who we are. He's instructing. I'm finna start preaching. Let me stop. He's instructing us to listen to. See, a lot of times we'll try to flip the script. Stop taking pictures and putting them out there on Facebook, trying to convince people that that's who you are. Because the truth of the matter is, that's who you want to be. Oh my God.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So, a lot of times, we just do certain things, and I'm a humble person when I hear that other people don't mind being who they are in order to be led. Amen. And I love that about you, because Andre told you to do it a long time ago. He said, don't stop being who you are. Don't stop singing the way you sing. You don't have to change who you are or how you're doing it, because all you're really trying to do is impress the flesh. You're trying to convince people to get them to be you can be popular. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I'm trying to do what God told me to do. That's right. That's right. I thank God for you. I thank God for what you're doing. I know that He has a plan for us in the very near future. All I'm saying is keep doing what you're doing, sister, because God's got your back, okay?
Thank you so much, and you be blessed.
You know what? I am blessed. I ain't going to let nobody even get the assumption that I ain't blessed no more, because you know what? I am one that know for a fact that I should have been dead and gone. I'm not going to tell anybody that I should have been locked up. I should be dead and gone. And not and it ain't because it ain't because of what other people done. It's because of what I've done. I am blessed, and I thank God that He has continued to bless me. All right, I'm gonna end it with you. You're the one. I want you to tell us a little bit about You're the One before we let you go, so we can bless the people with that hit single.
Oh, You're the One, for me, was a congratulatory song. Of course, like I told you, I was diagnosed with MS back in 2012, and I actually wasn't able to use my hands and my legs for a long time, and so and just not properly. And so when all of that subsided, I just wrote this song, and it says You're the One, and it basically is just saying, God, thank you, because you are the one who pulled these miracles through for me.
Well, I appreciate that.
Basically what it is.
I appreciate you. Anything we can do, please don't hesitate. We'll be talking again more. I told you, I don't script conversations, Hope. I think what we do is real. And, I think even the bloops and blunders that come along with it is supposed to be there. It's a part of the process.
Right. That's right. Real is the only thing that works.
That's the only thing that works, and it's live. It's live. I mean, you know what? It's only live one time.
Yep, that's right.
So people need to recognize it's only live one time. So, take advantage of the opportunity, and whatever comes, stop trying to present yourself as perfection, because none of us are. Okay. I hate that. Pastors and preachers, teachers, apostles, those of you that are giving your names as doctors and this, that, and the other. Listen, let me tell you something. The Bible snitched on you too. The Bible said we all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
And fallen short of the glory of God.
So stop it.
Absolutely.
Just stop it. Be who you are.
So just like when you see, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
I was going to say, just like when you see helping other people endure,
yes,
it doesn't mean that I've got it all together.
That's right.
And that I'm perfect, and and now it's my time to help you. You would be amazed to know how just helping other people has helped me also to endure.
You know what? For someone else, that comment that you made is absolutely true. They might be amazed to know, but I'm not amazed to know that, because the same rules apply for me.
Yes.
It pushes me, it blesses, and it helps me when I am of assistance and I have the opportunity to help someone else.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Even when I preach, it's like somebody's up there preaching, but I'm out there in the pews listening to whoever it is that's up there bringing the word, because that word is for me. That word is for me, too. Hope I appreciate you.
That's right.
And ironically, you're the one. All right, here we go. Right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, yours truly, Pastor Kevin. Always an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to have individuals like Hope join us here on the Broadcast Network. Listen, show your love, show your support. This is only the beginning. You're going to hear a huge amount from this young lady, and we are looking forward to being a blessing to her as well in any way, shape, form, and fashion that we can. Until next time, Hope, peace, God bless you. Take care. Take it easy. If it's good to you, take it twice, okay?
All right. Bless you. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Oh my God, you are my God. I believe in you, for I will bless you all the days of my life. You're powerful, you're powerful, you're so amazing, and everything you do, you purify. I lift you high, you're above all the earth, to watch over me, loving me and holding me. I just wanna say there is no one like you in all the earth. You are the one, you are the only one. You are the one, you are the one. There is no one like you in all the earth, and all the earth. You are the only one. You are the one. In thee, oh Lord, I put my trust. You delivered me from my enemies. Your loving kindness is better than my life. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. I will sing your praises each and every day. You're glorious, I wanna make it glorious. For I've seen you in the sanctuary, beheld your power, beheld your glory stirring. There is no one like you in all the earth. You are the only one, the only one. You are the one. There's no one like you, no. There is no one like you in all the earth. And all the earth. You are the only one. The only one. You are the one. Oh. There is no one like you. Oh, yeah. You are the only one. The only one. You are the one. No one like you. There is no one like you. Oh, yeah. You are the only one. The only one. You are the only one that can love me, the only one that can hold me, the only one, the sovereign God.